Email marketing has become huge in the last couple of years. There's been a bit of a downtake a couple of years ago with a lot of the spam out there, but it's something that's very powerful and very important to the health and medical industry. So let's dive in right now and get stuck into the language of email marketing, and most of all, the language of good email marketing. So if we have a look at how many people market or how many people in the health and medical industry should market, it should actually involve a large avenue in and around email marketing. It's probably a very underutilized resource and avenue for many of us in the health and medical industry. And when we stop and think about it, it wasn't too many years ago that everyone started to turn away from emails. And look, to be completely honest, I've got 6 different emails and 6 companies and whatever. I have my EA handling all my emails and filters things, and we've got systems in place and pretty much have a, not zero inbox, but, inbox zero, but actually zero inbox. I don't actually have an inbox because it's taken care of. But it is still a very, very powerful tool in and around the marketing side in health and medical. And I guess myself and many other people, we try and get away from emails. We try and do as least as we can because for the last few years, it's become pretty much a burden. Nothing is ever really that urgent that comes across on an email, even though people want to type in their subject that something's urgent and they need this done today and blah, blah, blah. The vast majority of the time, it's not that urgent. If someone wants something done that's really urgent and important, they, funnily enough, use the phone and call you. So what we've seen is a lot of different avenues of spam and those type of scenarios several years ago that started to become quite annoying. And as a net result, many of us turned away from emails, as a general rule, I guess, and email marketing took a little bit of a hit. But in more recent times, it is actually a very powerful tool to be able to speak to people. I guess before we dive into some of the do's and don'ts, there's a few things that around the language of email marketing that I think is quite frustrating to a lot of us. And I think we probably need to stop and think about our own language and our own approach to the language of email marketing first and foremost, because that's pretty much what's either making or breaking this from the very start. And I guess fundamentally, when we stop and think about it, think about the following language. We hit our list up, we hit the list with, etc. Or we send an email blast. And when we start to think about even just simple words and language around that, it's about hitting, it's about a blast, it's about, it's pretty aggressive when you stop and think about it. It's pretty aggressive language that we are actually putting forward to the people that we're ultimately looking to be able to work with and engage with. And I guess it's not just a little bit aggressive, but I think it becomes a little bit distasteful, right? Think about who we are to these people. These people are on a list. These people are wanting to engage with us, learn from us, be involved, buy from us. There might be numerous different avenues around this, and we've got to stop and understand who we are to these people, because I think it's a little bit aggressive and a little bit distasteful to be blasting people with things and hitting people up with promotion and offers and having that type of language first and foremost. We're meant to be the people that provide value. We're meant to be the people that can ultimately provide a solution for their challenges or for their problems. You don't have a doctor being aggressive at you when you're going to see them, they're there to help, to offer their opinion and to be able to help diagnose what's going on and help you out with the solution that you need. So I think a little bit about how most people approach this is actually a little bit distasteful and it's a little bit too aggressive. And so the more we think about it like a doctor and finding a solution, the more we start to realize, well, we actually are a leader to them. We are someone that they are coming to for our advice, our opinion. They're wanting us to provide value and to help them and to guide them. And so ultimately, we are a leader to our own people, to our list. So when we talk about email marketing, we really have to probably stop and check our language in and around the conversations that we're having and the words that we're using. Because I don't think we should be quite over the top of aggressively, blasting people with this and let's just punch out the following and etc. And so I think we become a little bit aggressive in our approach. And as a net result, that will always come across in the marketing that we're then putting forward. But if we actually change that mentality and understand that we're a leader, it's like you going to the doctor and needing the help and advice. It's just them coming to you, wanting to engage with you. Maybe they want to just consume some content, get some advice, get some help. Ultimately, they're looking for you for inspiration, for some compassion, for to be empowered, for you to give them advice, to educate them, and all of these things. And so when we start to change our mentality, we start to realize that we probably should change and pre-frame our approach to email marketing, our approach to the language in which we utilize our lists and the potential clients and prospects that ultimately we're wanting to be able to help and to serve. We ultimately, when we work with clients, we have a duty of care. I think we should be treating our email lists and our marketing lists in the same way. We should have a duty of care to look after them like they are our friends, like they are our colleagues or our family. And if we wouldn't be quite so aggressive towards our own family or friends or to your pen pal and that back years ago when we had pen pals, long before email, then it probably pre-frames the fact that we need to be a little bit softer and a little bit more genuine, a little bit more heartfelt, and treat everyone that is potentially a prospect or on a list, the people that we're leading, etc., in a completely different light than the somewhat aggressive and in many ways distasteful language we actually have around email marketing in the first place. So I was chatting with one of my mentors earlier today, actually, and this exact topic came up, which is why I thought it was really powerful to discuss it in a podcast. And we were talking about this very, very heavily in two different marketplaces. And when I stop and think about it heavily, I was able to jump in and sort of say, well, it's the same in the health and medical industry. We are quite aggressive in our marketing, nature and the verbose way in which we talk about marketing strategies and emails, and we're going to, push this out. We're going to punch that through. Let's just hit up the list. Let's, blast, send an email blast, etc. And when we start to really think there, is that really how we should be treating our friends and our colleagues? And it's quite simply, it's not. So have a think about the way in which you pre-frame your own language, the way in which you communicate with your team around what you're doing with your marketing, particularly with your email marketing. Should we be having a discussion in a slightly different way in which we can better serve them, better lead them, better help them out, rather than just seeing this as a push way or a blast or hitting them up with, etc. I think it completely pre-frames the context of who we are. It completely settles us all down to understand we need to use different language to actually be able to connect with people, so we can actually be more like our normal self. We are more natural, more authentic, more real, because that ultimately is what the connection is about. People aren't going to connect with you if you're really strongly verbose, attacking, defensive, aggressive, etc., because that's not what people want to be able to connect with. People ultimately want to be able to connect with you because of your compassion, because of your understanding nature, your caring nature, the ability for them to actually resonate and feel like you get them. You understand what they're wanting. I actually think this guy knows what I want. I actually, feel like this is the right thing for me. And to get that, you've got to be able to use the right language. And it all starts with how we ultimately start to approach the language of our own email marketing. So have a think about that. Do we need to change our own language? Do we need to stop and think about it? Because I would say 99% of times out of 100, every single time, funnily enough, 99 out of 100 is 99%, Jason. We should actually be in a situation where we need to change that context of our language to be more compassionate, more empathetic, more talking like a pen pal to a family member and friends, so we can have a better relationship, so we can have people resonate with us, understand us, feel us, get us, because that's where the true power lies in email marketing. And that's where you're going to be able to connect with more people. You're going to be able to understand more people. And as a net result, you're going to be able to help more people out in numerous different ways. And that's what it's all about. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.